30 days later, he was free. This is Escape Toxic Relationships in 30 Days. This is David, 13 years in a toxic relationship. He thought escape was impossible, his blueprint, and it could be yours too. Let me tell you about the day David almost gave up. He was sitting in his car outside his own house, terrified to go inside. He'd been there for 45 minutes, just sitting, breathing, trying to find the courage to open his own front door. This wasn't a stranger's house. This was the home he paid for, but it felt like a prison. David had spent 13 years in a relationship that slowly consumed him, bit by bit, day by day, until he didn't recognize himself anymore. He tried to leave before, 3 times. Each time he went back. The guilt, the promises, the hope that this time will be different, but it never was. And on this particular day, sitting in that car, David made a decision. He pulled out his phone and typed 4 words into Google: how to escape toxicity. He found a 30-day plan, a step-by-step roadmap created by therapists who specialized in helping people trapped in toxic relationships. He thought, 30 days, I can do anything for 30 days. That was November 1st. By December 1st, David was free, not just physically free, mentally free, emotionally free, financially prepared, legally protected. Today, I'm going to share that exact 30-day plan with you. This isn't theory. This isn't philosophy. This is a practical, actionable roadmap that has helped thousands of people escape relationships that were destroying them. If you're watching this video, you already know something's wrong. You're here because you're tired of feeling small. You're here because you're exhausted from walking on eggshells. You're here because some part of you knows you deserve better. That part of you? That's the part we're going to strengthen over the next 25 minutes. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete 30-day escape plan. You'll know exactly what to do, week by week, day by day. And just like David, you'll discover that freedom isn't just possible, it's closer than you think. Let's begin. The foundation, seeing clearly. Here's the first truth you need to understand. You can't escape what you can't see. Toxic relationships work by making you doubt your own perception. They make you think, maybe I'm overreacting. It's not that bad. Everyone has problems. I'm probably the problem. Week 1 is about breaking through that fog. This is what David did. Day 1 to 7. The daily documentation. David bought a small notebook. Nothing fancy. Just a regular notebook from the drugstore. Every single day, he wrote down 3 things. 1, 3 negative behaviors he experienced. 2, how each one made him feel. 3, what excuse or explanation he was given. Let me show you what David's first day looked like. November 1st, behavior. She criticized my appearance in front of her family at lunch. How I felt: humiliated, small, angry but couldn't show it. Excuse given: I'm just joking. God, you're so sensitive. Can't you take a joke? Behavior 2. She took my phone and went through my messages. How I felt: violated, defensive even though I did nothing wrong. Excuse given: if you have nothing to hide, why do you care? Unless you're hiding something. Behavior 3. She refused to speak to me for 3 hours because I said I was tired. How I felt: confused, anxious, like I did something terrible. Excuse given: I'm not mad. I just need space. Why are you always so needy? David read this back to himself that night. For the first time in 13 years, he saw it in black and white. This wasn't normal. This wasn't love. This was a pattern. By day 7, David had documented 21 incidents. When you see it written down, you can't deny it anymore. Your week 1 mission: get a notebook. Digital or paper, doesn't matter. Every day, write 3 incidents. Just 3. Don't analyze yet. Don't judge yourself. Just document. Here's what you're looking for: criticism disguised as jokes, isolation from friends or family, financial control, emotional manipulation, silent treatment, gaslighting, that never happened, blame shifting, you made me do this, invasion of privacy, unpredictable mood swings. The science behind this: there's a psychological phenomenon called normalcy bias. When something happens gradually, your brain adapts and accepts it as normal, even when it's destroying you. Writing breaks that bias. Suddenly, you're not just experiencing it, you're observing it. And observation creates distance. Distance creates clarity. Clarity creates power. By the end of week 1, you'll have undeniable evidence. This isn't in your head. You're not crazy. You're not too sensitive. You're being manipulated. And seeing that truth, that's the first step to freedom. The experiment: finding your voice. David told me something profound after he escaped. I realized I hadn't said no to her in over a year, not once. I'd forgotten I even could. Week 2 is about rediscovering that word, no. But here's what makes this week brilliant and safe. You're not confronting them about the big stuff yet. You're not saying this relationship is toxic or your behavior is unacceptable. That comes later. Right now, you're just conducting an experiment. The boundary experiment: week 2, you set 1 small boundary per day. Small, tiny, almost insignificant. Here's what David did. Day 8, she asked him to cancel plans with his brother. His usual response: okay, I'll cancel. His day 8 response: I'm gonna keep this plan. I haven't seen him in months. Day 9, she asked him to make dinner even though he just worked 12 hours. His usual response: makes dinner, exhausted. His day 9 response: I'm really tired tonight. Can we order takeout? Day 10, she criticized his clothing choice. His usual response: changes clothes, apologizes. His day 10 response: I like what I'm wearing. I'm keeping it on. What happened? She was shocked, then angry, then tearful, then furious. She said all the things toxic people say. You've changed. You don't care about me anymore. You're being so selfish. What's wrong with you lately? And here's the critical part. David documented every reaction in his notebook. Why this week is crucial. You're learning 2 vital things. 1, you have a voice. After months or years of suppression, you might have forgotten. Setting even tiny boundaries reminds you, I'm allowed to have preferences. I'm allowed to say no. 2, their reaction reveals everything. A healthy partner responds to boundaries with, oh, okay, that's fine. A toxic partner, they escalate, they punish, they manipulate. David's biggest realization: by day 14, David wrote this in his journal. I set 7 small boundaries this week. She respected 0. Every single one led to guilt tripping, silent treatment, accusations, threats. If she can't handle me saying, I'd rather not cancel plans with my brother, how is this love? Your week. 2 mission. Day 8 to 14. Set 1 small boundary per day. Examples: I'm not comfortable with that joke. I need 30 minutes to myself. I'm not changing my plans. I don't want to discuss this right now. No, I'm keeping my phone private. I'd prefer not to. That doesn't work for me. Document what boundary you set, their immediate reaction, any punishment or manipulation that followed, how long the consequence lasted, what you'll discover. If your partner respects your boundaries, you might be in a difficult relationship, but not necessarily a toxic one. There's hope for change. If your partner punishes every boundary, You're in a toxic relationship, and it won't get better. The pattern David saw. Every boundary equals punishment. Small ask equals big consequence. His needs equals her crisis. By the end of week 2, the pattern was undeniable. Important safety. Note, if setting small boundaries leads to physical danger, skip week 2. Your safety comes first. Move directly to week 3 and find professional help immediately. The lifeline. You are not alone. Here's what David realized on day 15. He'd been carrying this alone for 13 years. He'd never told anyone the full truth. Not his brother, not his best friend, not his parents. He'd given pieces, hints, vague complaints, but never the full picture. Week 3 is about breaking that silence. The mission: tell one person. David chose his brother Mike. He invited him to lunch, and for the first time in 13 years, he told the truth. Not the sanitized version, not the "we're having problems" version, the real version. He showed Mike the notebook. 14 days of documented incidents. Mike was silent for a long time. Then he said, "I knew something was wrong. I've known for years, but you always said you were fine." David cried in a restaurant for the first time in his adult life. Mike said, "I'm here, whatever you need. I'm here." Why this week changes everything. Toxic relationships thrive in isolation. They need you alone, unsupported, convinced that no one will believe you or help you. Telling someone breaks that spell. Your week 3 mission, days 15 to 21, the support network. Day 15 to 16, choose your person. Who do you trust? Who's proven they care about your well-being? A sibling, a childhood friend, a parent if safe, a trusted coworker, a cousin, not someone who is also friends with your partner, has minimized your concerns before gossips can't keep confidence. Day 17, have the conversation, be honest, be specific, bring your documentation if it helps. Say, "I need to tell you something I've kept hidden. I'm in a relationship that's damaging me and I need help." Day 18 to 19, research professional, help you need expert guidance. Research, therapists specializing in emotional abuse recovery, trauma and PTSD, relationship trauma. Resources, National Domestic Violence. Hotline, even for emotional abuse. Local women's centers, many help all genders. Online therapy platforms, BetterHelp, Talkspace. Support groups, in person or online. You don't have to book an appointment yet. Just research, gather numbers, know your options. Day 20 to 21, financial planning. This is critical. Freedom requires resources. If you have financial control, open a separate bank account, use paperless statements, start saving small amounts, document joint debts and assets, gather financial records, research your legal rights, community property divorce laws. If you're financially dependent, research local assistance programs, connect with domestic violence resources, they have emergency funds. Identify any skills you can monetize. Look into temporary housing options, research legal aid services. David's week 3, David told his brother. He found a therapist who specialized in narcissistic abuse. He opened a separate bank account and transferred $100. He researched divorce lawyers in his area. He made copies of important documents, deed, bank statements, tax returns. By day 21, David wasn't alone anymore. He had support. He had a therapist. He had a financial plan. The transformation, David told me, week 3 was when I stopped being a victim and became a person taking action. I wasn't just suffering anymore. I was planning. Your support checklist, by the end of week 3, you should have told at least one person the full truth. Research 3 to 5 therapists. made contact with one support resource, started financial documentation, identified emergency funds, even if small, copied important documents. One more thing, don't tell your partner you're doing any of this. This isn't secrecy, this is safety. Leaving a toxic relationship is the most dangerous time. Preparation happens privately. The moment, your freedom plan. Week 4 is where everything culminates. You've documented the abuse, you've tested boundaries, you've built support, you've planned financially. Now, you plan your exit. The Escape Blueprint, day 22 to 23. Create scenarios. David created 3 exit scenarios. Scenario A, the clean break, best case. Direct conversation, this relationship is over. Pack essential items, stay with brother, no contact scenario. B, the gradual exit, if immediate leaving isn't safe. Increase time away from home. Move items, slowly build external life. Set firm end date, scenario. C, the emergency exit, if safety is threatened. Packed emergency bag hidden. Important docs at brother's house, emergency contacts programmed. Safe location identified, day 24 to 25. Legal consultation. David booked a free consultation with a family lawyer. 30 minutes, no commitment. He learned his rights regarding shared property, how to document financial abuse, restraining order process, what to expect in separation. Knowledge is power, especially legal knowledge. Day 26 to 27. The logistics. David made specific plans. Housing, brother's spare room, 2 weeks. Then budget apartment, found online, ready to apply. Transportation, car is in his name, confirmed. Gas card separate from joint account. Important items, passport, birth certificate, social security card. Sentimental items, work, laptop, medication, moved to brother's house in advance. Communication plan, change passwords on personal accounts. Set up new email address, informed boss. Vague explanation in case she showed up at work. Day 28 to 29. The rehearsal. This might sound strange, but David rehearsed the conversation in therapy, out loud. This relationship is ending. I've made my decision. I won't be discussing it or debating it. I'm leaving. Practice removes hesitation. Day 30, freedom. David waited until she was at work. He packed the rest of his essential belongings. He left a letter. Short, clear, final. I'm ending this relationship. This decision is final. Please don't contact me. My lawyer will be in touch about dividing our assets. He blocked her number. He blocked her on all social media. He drove to his brother's house, and he was free. What happened next? She called from different numbers. He didn't answer. She showed up at his work. Security escorted her out. She sent flying monkeys, mutual friends asking him to just talk to her. David held firm. No contact, none. 3 months later, David told me, I have an apartment I love. I'm in therapy. I reconnected with friends I'd lost. I wake up without anxiety for the first time in 13 years. I didn't know life could feel this light. Your week 4 mission. Day 22 to 29. Build your exit plan. Use David's blueprint. Create 3 scenarios: clean break, gradual, emergency. Consult a lawyer, even just free consultation. Secure housing, friend, family, rental. Move important items in advance. Plan the logistics, documents, transportation, finances. Change passwords and secure accounts. Rehearse the conversation with therapist or trusted friend. Set a date day. 30, execute. Only you know if you're ready, but here's what I can tell you. You'll never feel 100% ready. There's no perfect time. Fear is normal. Doubt's normal. But staying in toxicity because you're scared of leaving, that's choosing a guaranteed painful present over a potentially free future. The safety plan. If there's any risk of violence, don't tell them you're leaving in advance. Leave when they're not home, have someone with you. Contact domestic violence resources for escort services. File for restraining order if needed. Change your route to work. Inform workplace security. Your physical safety is the priority, always. The truth about freedom. Freedom doesn't feel like freedom. Not at first. David's first week out, day 1. Relief. Day 2. Doubt. Did I overreact? Day 3. Grief. Even toxic relationships involve real loss. Day 4. Fear. What if I made a mistake? Day 5. Loneliness. Day 6. The urge to reach out. Day 7. Strength returning. This is normal. You're not just leaving a person, you're withdrawing from an addiction. Trauma bonds are powerful. Your brain got used to the chaos. Calm feels uncomfortable at first. The no contact rule. This is non-negotiable. No texts, no calls, no closure meetings, no checking in. Every contact resets your healing. Block them everywhere. Phone, email, social media, mutual friends who report back. This isn't cruelty, this is survival. What helps? Therapy, weekly minimum for first 3 months. Support groups, journaling, physical exercise, reconnecting with old friends, new routines, patience with yourself. What doesn't help? Checking their social media, responding to flying monkeys, dating immediately, substances to numb, expecting them to change and apologize. David's advice: the first 30 days out are harder than the 30 days planning, but they're also when you remember who you were before them and you meet who you're becoming after them. Both people are worth fighting for. 30 days, that's all it took for David to go from trapped to free. Not because it was easy, but because he had a plan. And now you have that plan too. Week 1, document and see clearly. Week 2, set boundaries and observe reactions. Week 3, build support and plan finances. Week 4, execute your escape. If David could do it after 13 years, you can do it too. You deserve peace instead of chaos, respect instead of criticism, freedom instead of control. Love that doesn't hurt and it's closer than you think. 30 days, will you take the first step today? If this video gave you hope, please like this video. It helps others find it. Comment below. What week are you starting with? Share with someone who needs this. Subscribe for more recovery content resources. National Domestic Violence Hotline 1-800-79-97233 crisis. Text line, text start to 7417041. You're not alone. You're stronger than you know, and freedom is waiting. Thank you for watching. Stay strong. You've got this.